कॉल करना। गजानन पद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदं तं भक्तानामेकदन्तोपास्मि। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। या श्रद्धा धारणा मेधा वाग्देवी विधिवल्लभा भक्तजिह्वाग्रसदना शमादिगुणदायिनी। मौनव्याख्या प्रकटितपरब्रह्मतत्त्वं युवानम् अष्टेष्टान्ते वसद्विषगणैरावृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दमूर्तिम् स्वात्मा रामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिम्। व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातराजुहाव प्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिमानतोऽस्मि। यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् ध्यात्मदीपमतितितीर्षितां तमोऽन्धम् संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यम् तं व्याससूनुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं मामि भगवत्पादशरं लोकशङ्करम्। व्याप्तं जगत्येन चिदात्मभावात् रज्ज्वा यथा चराचरं यत् अन्यस्य सर्वं च सदात्मभावे स्वयं समस्तं च बभूव यस्तु निस्सङ्गनिर्मुक्तिपदं प्रपद्य ब्रह्मात्मभावेन विराजितो यः श्रीसौम्यकाशीशमहेश्वराय तस्मै नमः स्वामी तपोवनाय। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् वन्दे तेजोमयं नित्यं गुरुं ज्ञानप्रभाकरम् यस्यैककिरणादेव नष्टा विद्यातमः सदा। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्म प्रोज्झित कैटवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तत्क्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतम् बत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरः रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः। त्वं श्रीविभूषितकरात् नवनीतदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्टात् नेन्दुसुन्दरमुखादरविन्दनेत्रात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने। ॐ नमः परमहंसास्वादितचरणकमलचिन्मकरन्दाय भक्तजनमानसनिवासाय रामचन्द्राय। Om Hari Om. Happy Janmashtami to everybody. And special thank you to Divya for sharing that beautiful bhajan in the group. It was really delightful. Thank you, Divya. So, sixth canto, the theme of which is actually one of the main themes of the Bhagavatam as a whole. It is grace. Poshanam, or nourishment, is Bhagavan's grace alone, and how through lifetimes Bhagavan takes care of us, shepherds us through this journey of samsara, bring us back to himself. This is the theme, and we have seen it through played out in the life of Ajamila, right? And we saw some of the significant points of that story. Now, Shukadeva turns to the story of Vritrasura. So, Ajamila as a human being. Now, Vritrasura, we see over many lifetimes how Bhagavan has taken care of him. It begins with the story with Indra. Now, Indra's guru, we know the guru of the gods was Brihaspati, and under his guidance, the Devatas won many victories over the Asuras, and Indra was in charge of heavens, and he was very powerful. And that power went to his head. So one day he was sitting in his darbar and watching as the Apsaras were dancing, Menaka, Ramba, Tilokama, they were all dancing there. He was sitting back and enjoying it. And Vayu Bhagwan was fanning him, and somebody was feeding him grapes. He was happy, enjoying. At that time, his Guru Brihaspati entered. Now, how a king should behave when a Guru enters, when a great Mahatma enters. All of us, we should get up, we should do Namaskaram, all that is there. But for a king also, generally it is not the case. For the only exception for the king is the Mahatma, otherwise they don't get up to greet him. We saw in Ramayana, Dashatha Maharaja, when Vishwamitra Rishi comes, he gets up, seats him on the Simhasana and does Pada Puja. But here, Indra did not even acknowledge the entrance of his guru. He turned away and continued watching the dance. So, Brihaspati thought, okay, this guy has become so arrogant that he has lost sight of what got him all this glory. He has lost sight of the person who brought him to this point. So let him not see me for a while. And so he vanished, became invisible. He didn't go anywhere. He became invisible. That means what? That guru, whether visible or not, was always there. Even that invisibility or visibility was all for Indra's goodness, for his to bless him only, to help him to learn. So Indra, the moment Brihaspati disappeared, Indra realized his mistake. Then he started searching everywhere. But what's the use? Once a mistake is made, it's very difficult to undo. He searched everywhere, he could not find him. And this news through the spy network reached the Asura. And Shukracharya said, see, this Indra is not smart enough to manage on his own. He needs a guru, he needs a purohit to guide him for everything. So now he is kind of helpless. This is the time, let us attack. And they started thrashing the devatas like anything. Not knowing what to do, as usual procedure, he ran to Brahmaji. And Brahmaji said, first of all, normally, Brahmaji is very kind and he'll just say, okay, let us worship Bhagavan, let us do this, let us do that, without any other comment. This time he blasts Indra. He says, you are very wrong to insult your guru in this way. Such a foolish thing you have done. And now you have come to me for help. Okay. You need somebody to do the Paurohityam for you, somebody to do Yagas to build up strength for the Devatas. I will suggest somebody, but you have to trust that person implicitly. Indra said, whatever you do, but, okay, we'll see. So he said, Twashta, right? The Devata Twashta is the god of artistry, carpentry, sculpture, architecture, all that. So Twashta's son is on Vishwarupa, who's a great tapasvi. No, interesting things about Vishwarupa. His father was a Devata, mother was an Asura. Mixed marriage. And he had 3 heads. With one head was called Somapitam, from which he drank the Somapanam, the ambrosia of the Devatas. One head was called Annadam, which was for eating food. And one head was called Surapitam, which was for drinking alcohol. The Asuras. This is a way of saying that he had all the 3 gunas. He had all the Daivi Sampati, Manushi Sampati, Asuri Sampati, all in one person. But he had mastery over the entire spectrum of his being, and he had self-control. So he lived a very austere, very ascetic life. And when the Devatas asked him to become their priest, he refused. Because he said that won't leave any time for me to do my own anushtanam, my prayers, my japa, everything. I'll only have to keep doing things for you. And you, knowing you, what are you going to ask? That one should be destroyed. That other one should be destroyed. I should become strong enough to defeat everybody. I have nothing better to do than that. I don't want to waste my tapobala on all these. But then Brahmaji and Indra and everybody somehow convinced him. And fine, he agreed. No, he started doing Yagas. And he taught Indra one very powerful mantra called the Narayana Kavacha. Kavacha means armor. So it is a mantramaya armor where all the limbs of the body, the mind, the intellect, our entire being is protected through nyasa, through installing the names of Bhagavan on those parts of our. It's a very beautiful mantra, and we can chant it every day. Those who are interested, you can find it in the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. A very powerful mantra for protection. Now, he taught this Narayana Kavacha to Indra. And Indra became very powerful and again defeated the Asuras and came in charge. Now, this Vishwarupa had a little bit of attachment for the mother's side also. So, whenever he was doing yagyas, so out of 8 ahutis, if he gave to the devatas, 1 or 2 he used to give to the Asura side. Brahmaji had already said you should trust him implicitly. But when Indra discovered this, he got angry. He pulled out his sword and cut off all 3 heads with one slice. Now again without a priest, again without a bow. And this time what happened was, he also angered somebody in his own camp. Twashta became very angry with him because you murdered my son. So Twashta did a big yagya to take revenge on Indra. He wanted to create one Asura who would come and destroy Indra. But see, he made a mistake in chanting. So this is why Vedic mantras, it is very important to chant with the Udatta, Anudatta, everything exactly. The swara should be perfect. Because with that, the meaning is connected to that. The emphasis changes, the meaning changes. And with that, the result changes. This is only if you are doing it sakama, with desire. If you are doing it for knowledge or out of bhakti, these things don't matter so much. But if we want for a specific outcome, then we have to chant exactly according to the swaras given. That's also why it's important to learn it from an acharya. Anyway, Tvashta made a mistake in chanting. Mantra he had to chant was Indra Shatro Vivardhasva. May the one who destroys Indra be born from you. But because he put the swara in the wrong place, it became may the one who will be destroyed by Indra be born. Now from that yagya was born great gigantic asura named Vritasura. It was huge. It said he covered the entire horizon and it was terrible to see. Even the asura started running away from him. And he led the army to attack the Devatas. Inspired by him, they started thrashing the Devatas. So again, as per procedure, Indra went to Brahmaji, can help me what to do. Brahmaji also felt bad. Each one is there, one with a black eye, one with a broken leg, one hobbling on a crutch. The 2 teeth are hanging like that. So he said, okay, now only thing we can do is ask Bhagavan for service. So they went to Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, see, I am tired of taking avatara for you every time. This time we'll do it differently. I'll tell you what to do. You need a weapon, which is filled with tapashakti and filled with the power of that Narayana Kavacha mantra. So there is a rishi named Dadichi Rishi, who is famous. He comes in the Vedas and all. And he does tapas and he has been practicing this Narayana Kavacha mantra. So you go to him and ask him for his backbone and take his backbone and make a weapon out of it. That will be your Vajra, and that will be the weapon with which you can destroy Mithras. Now, Indra and Dadichi Rishi had a history, by the way. This story doesn't come in Bhagavatam, but it is said that Indra was afraid that if other devatas are taught Brahmajnana, they'll become fearless. Then they will start challenging me for my position because they won't be afraid of me. And so he told Dadichi Rishi that if you teach Brahmajnana to anybody, I will cut your head off. Now Ashwini Kumaras went to that Dadichi Rishi and said, Adi Bhagav Brahmeti, please teach us. Dadichi Rishi said, I would love to, but I am under this threat. So Ashwini Kumara said, don't worry. We will protect your head. We'll take your head and keep it safely and keep a horse's head for you. And so they put a horse's head, and from that horse's head, the Brahmajnana was given. Indra came and cut it off. Ashwini Kumaras put the old head back. Everything was fine. You see, it sounds like a very silly story. The thing is that, Akhandaranji Maharaj explains so beautifully that Brahmajnana should be taught by somebody who has cut off his head, who has given up all of his ego, all his ahankara, all his intellectual speculation, and is talking from a place of pure experience. And why the horse's head? What does the horse do? It neighs, no? Neigh, neigh. That's what the Brahma Vidyacharya also does, no? Neti, neti, neti. He negates everything. and leaves you to experience what is real. He negates all the unreal and leaves only the real for us to enjoy. And the Shishya also should be such that the Guru may have cut off his head, the Guru may have cut off all his ahankara, everything, but the Shishya restores it. Shishya gives that much of respect, that much of reverence, brings that much of glory to the master. That is what the Brahmavidya student. Now, this Dadichi Rishi was sitting and doing his meditation quietly. Indra went to him. He opened his eyes. Indra was there. I didn't teach anybody Brahmavidya at this time. I promise. Indra said, no, not that. Actually, I need to ask you for a favor. That's all. No problem. What is I can, whatever I can do for you, I'll do. No problem. I need you to give me your backbone, please. But the body is the most beloved for all creatures. Yes, but you are a great Brahmajnani, you have gone beyond the body. So you have no need for this body. He said, yes, that's right. I have no need for this body. Its purpose is accomplished. Okay, you take it. Let it be of some use to you. And through his yoga shakti, he gave up his life. And Indra took the backbone and fashioned it into a weapon. That is the Vajra. And with that weapon, now the Devatas were inspired that they have the weapon. They started fighting and driving back the Asuras. Asuras started fleeing out of fear. Dhritarashtra alone stood strong and said, tried to stop all of them from running and said, don't be cowards, face your fate. But no, they ran. He said, okay, I will fight alone. And he started thrashing all the Devatas flying in all directions. Now only Indra was left, one on one. And that battle was terrible. And Dhritarashtra was impossible to contain. He even killed Indra's elephant, Airavata. And then Indra was kind of hesitating to use the Vajra. He looked at him. What are you, useless fellow? Why should I even fight with you? You are a sinner. You are the one who has killed his own guru, who has killed a great tapasvi. You have killed my own brother. Still, it is my prarabdha. I have to fight with you. Okay. But why are you hesitating? Do your duty, fight. Come fight. Try to kill me. After all, Bhagavan has decided what has to happen to each one of us. He has decided that we have to face each other in battle. We have to fight. Okay. Fight. Come. But remember, if you had bhakti for that Bhagavan, no, you won't be in this position. Because Bhagavan gives everything to his devotee. And can you do that later, please? So Bhagavan gives everything to his devotees. Anything is available to them. All luxury, all pleasure. But the real devotee is one who doesn't ask for any of that. So he says, Indra, if you had, even an iota of that power, you would not be suffering like this. You would not be running to save your position and then fighting and killing people and all that. Why? But then as he thought of Bhagavan, as he started speaking, this Vritrasura's bhava changed. He stopped seeing Indra as Indra also. He saw Indra also as Bhagavan. He saw the whole battlefield as Bhagavan Maya, Indra as Bhagavan, everything. And so he addresses Indra as Bhagavan. These four shlokas. These four shlokas are, Krishna Premi Anna says, if you don't know anything else in Bhagavatam, know these four shlokas. Guruji has also said these are the most beautiful shlokas in Bhagavatam. They forgot even Gopika Gita in the process. That is how beautiful these shlokas. Let me share the screen because they are worth studying in a little more detail. One second. Yeah. Aham hare tava padaikamula dasanudaso bhavitasmi bhuyah manasmareta supatir gunanste nitavak karma karotu kayah. Hey Hare, Hare means what? The one who takes away. No? So you take me away from this battlefield, from this wretched asura body, free me. Why? Why should I free you? Aham tava padaikamula dasa anutaso. I am the dasa, the servant. Anudasa, the junior servant of who? The dasa, of the servant of your lotus. So I am your bhakta's bhakta. And that's, or at least I want to be. Bhavitas me. I would like to be there. Please grant me that. And I have a mind, so let that mind remember you. Manasmaret asupatir gunanste. Let that mind remember your glories always. See, the word used also is so beautiful for Bhagavan. Asupate. Not Narayana, not Vasudeva, not Govinda. These are common names, but this is Asupate is such an intimate name. Asu means prana. Asupate, he prananatha, he pranapate, the Lord of my very breath. It is not up to Indra when I will die. It's not up to Yama when I will die. My pranas are not subject to their uh, jurisdiction. You are the, it is not even up to me, but it is up to you. You are the Asupati. You are the Lord of my pranas. And so may I always remember you. And if I speak, may my speech also glorify you. May I sing your glories. Grinita Vak. And then karma karotu kayaha. Let this body do whatever karma it is supposed to. Satvik, Rajasic, Tamasic, it doesn't matter. That body has come with its prarabdha. That body has come with its raga dvesha, with its vasanas. Let it exhaust its vasanas. Let it do whatever it has to do. I don't care. My mind should remain. Okay. But what do you want from me? You say you want to become my servant, etc. But anybody who serves, then they desire something in return. What do you want in return? न नाकपृष्ठं न च पारमेष्ट्यं न सार्वभौमं न रसाधिपत्यं न योगसिद्धिरपुनर्भवं वा समञ्जसा विरहय्य काङ्क्षे. I don't want Nakaprishtam, the heavens. I don't want the mastery over the heavens like this Indra, who is so comfortable, who has everything and is yet so miserable. I don't want to be like Nata Parameshtyam. I don't want Brahmaloka. I don't want to become Brahma. Because again, there also he has to come and solve Indra's problem every time. And then people keep cursing him. Why did you create the world like this? Na Sarvabhaumam. I don't want to become the king of the earth. Again, so many responsibilities, so many problems, so many wars to fight, so many uh, taxes to be levied, etc. Na Rasa Adhipatyam. Okay, what about hell? Rasatalalu. No, hell is meant for punishment of those who have done papa, but then the people who are administering that place, for them, it is more luxurious than heaven also. That's why Raja Bali was made the king of Rasatala. He said, I don't want that also. Na yoga siddhi. I don't want the yoga siddhi to go to any one of these places and keep traveling here and there as per my wish. That also I don't. Apunar bhavam va. I don't want moksha also. I don't want anything which is separated from you. Samanjasatva virahaya kangshe. I want to be one with you. I don't want to be separate from you at all. But still, he had not fully expressed. So now the high point, the best shloka of Bhagavatam. Ajata paksha iva mataram khagaha Stanyam yatha vatsatarakshudartaha priyam priyeva vyushitam vishanna manoravindaksha didrikshate tvam. Hey Aravindaksha, lotus-eyed Bhagwan, Manaha, my mind didrikshate, yearns to see you. Not with the physical eyes, but inside the mind. I want to see darshan. Hey Aravindaksha, lotus eyes. So when will those eyes open up? When will that lotus blossom make its full beauty, its full grace available to me? My mind is like a bee that is waiting there, drink the nectar from that. But this example has its flaw. Because the bee, if it goes to a flower and that flower is not yet open, what does the bee do? It will go to some other. And when it has finished drinking the nectar from this flower, it will wander somewhere else and somewhere else, somewhere. Our mind is like that. We go to 1,000 different flowers. But Vritrasura's mind is not like that. He gives another example. Ajata paksha iva mataram khagaha. Like khagaha, birds who are ajata paksha. Paksha means wings. Their wings have not yet formed. Ajata. They're fledgling, baby birds in the nest, whose mother has gone flying to forage for food, bring worms and insects and eat. Now they don't know where the mother has gone. They're too young to understand even that. They don't know whether she'll come back or not. That fear also is. And so they themselves are in tension. Then constantly they are under threat from hawks and snakes and other predators might attack it. And third thing, they are at the mercy of the elements, rain and heat and cold and everything they have to do. They can't move anywhere. They said that's it because they'll fall out. All they can do is cry out. All they can do is cry for that mother. Like that, my heart cries. But still not perfect. Still, this example has its flaws. Because what do those fledglings want? They want the food that the mother is. They want the worms and the insects. So they are like us. They are kami bhaktas, arthati, or they are artha bhaktas because they are suffering. They are suffering from the anxiety, the adhyatmic suffering. They are suffering from the attacks of the predators, adi bhautik. They are suffering from the elements, adi devi. All the suffering they have, and to rid themselves of the suffering, they want the mother. But the same birds, once nourished by that mother, they grow big and strong, they fly away. They have no more need of that mother. And when Bhagavan fulfills all our prayers, then we become wealthy and we become rich and healthy, and then we forget. I'm a self-made man. I have done so much. I have earned so much. And we forget Bhagavan. So again, that is not the correct thing. He tries again. Tanyam yatha vatsatarakshudarthaham. Just as the calves, vatsataraha, the tiniest little calves, okay, who have been tied up in the Goshala while the mother has gone off to graze. Now that calf can move around to the extent of that rope. To the extent our karma, our prarabdha allows us, the extent our vasanas allow us, we have certain amount of evil. But beyond that, we are bound. Somebody has tied us down. Our attachments have tied us down. And so we can't run to the mother. But we can cry. And what is the calf crying for? Not for the insects and worms. No, the calf is crying for milk. Milk is something sattvic. This is the Jigyasu Bhakta, who is crying for the milk of knowledge. Partho Vatsa Sudhir. Crying for that milk of knowledge to nourish us. calves. And that mother cow, when he will come and feed us, shower us with that milk, lick us and play with us, waiting for that. And until then, all it is again, this is better, but there is still a flaw because the calf still wants, they want the milk, they want the, it's still self-centered. I want. But the real bhakta, like the gopikas, they don't think about themselves and what they want. They think about Bhagavan and what Bhagavan needs. In the Gopika Geetam, they say, Krishna, we are calling you, why? Because not because we want you to come here and dance with us and play with us, but we are afraid that walking around in the forest, your feet are so soft that we are afraid to even keep them on our hearts because our hearts are so hard they may go. And you're walking barefoot in the forest with all the thorns and rocks and everything there. And we don't want you to get hurt. Please come so that we can take. This is the but true. We will do anything for Bhagavan's sake, thinking of what will make Bhagavan happy, not thinking of how Bhagavan can make me happy. Not what I have to gain from God, but what I have to give God. Imagine that freedom. That I am so free, I am so uh, unburdened by desire that I can even go up to God and say, what do you want? I can give you. For that, the example given is Yam Priyeva Yushitam Vishanna, like a woman whose beloved has gone away somewhere far. Maybe he's a traveling businessman, maybe he's in the military. He's gone somewhere far away. She doesn't know when he's going to come back. Doesn't even know where he has gone. There's no communication. And she's sitting at home longing for him. Every day she dresses up thinking today he's going to come. And so let me look at it. Every day she makes the best food she can. Every day she decorates the house beautifully because today might be the day when he comes. Like Sita Devi waiting in Ashoka, like Shabari waiting in, in her ashram. Will he? Any day now. When he comes, I am going to make him so happy. I'm going to do everything I can to give him joy. And in his joy is my ultimate. See, this Asura has the bhava of the greatest gopi. To remember, no? That wherever he is, far away, wherever, but does not that beloved also keep thinking of the of his wife back home and longing for her, longing to be reunited? Isn't the mother, the cow, the mother bird, aren't they full of anxiety to go back to their babies? Even though she may be hungry, that mother bird will not eat the worms herself. She comes and feeds them to the baby. The same way the mother cow also, the moment she gets a chance, she is back with the calf. Like that, Bhagavan is also longing for us. He is also finding some way or other to bring us. And so, Vritrasura said, let us fight. Indra, you have that Vajra, use it on me. Indra thought, Arey, this guy is such a great devotee. Already two I have finished off. I will have further Papa. He says, no, no, Papa, you are doing your duty, fight. And this one mini Bhagavad Gita he gives him. He says, your duty is to fight here. Don't worry about the outcome. etc., etc. Everything is preordained by Bhagavan. Tasmat Yudhyasva, and Indra finally he uses his Vajra, attacks, continues to fight fiercely. Finally, he's defeated when Jyoti arises and merges with. Now the question is, what is this Vritrasura's backstory? How did one Asura get so much of bhakti that he became almost a Gopika in his heart? How did that happen? So for that, one prequel is there, which we'll have next time. The previous Janmas of Vritrasura and what all happened there, and how Bhagavan brought him through so many lifetimes to this point, this high point of devotion that we had. And with that, the sixth canto will end, and then Prahlada Charitra. I'm eagerly looking forward. So, hope you all had a lovely Janmashtami and some Krishna Anubhav in everybody's heart. That will end today's session. योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण हरे हरे, जीवन स्मरणं गोविंद गोविंद। Om, thank you all very much for joining. You.
Hari Om, thank you very much, Master Ji.